Gentlemen, this is Erica Rains, the principal of Somerset Academy Bethany and Somerset College Prep Academy. This is our new student orientation, new family orientation video that we do every year. We are going to be posting this to our social media in just a few minutes, and we will have it on a loop tomorrow during our open house at school. We are in St. Lucie West. We are one of many Somerset schools, nationwide and international. We are part of that charter school network that Somerset College Prep and Somerset Academy St. Lucie are also part of. So, what is a charter school? Charter schools are tuition-free public schools. You don't pay tuition for your students to attend here. We are publicly funded at a lower rate than the district schools, which we'll get to in a few minutes. We are sponsored by the district, meaning that the district is responsible for ensuring state and federal compliance. That is about it, though. We do have curricular autonomy, and what the curricular autonomy piece means, and this is why a lot of families choose us and why a lot of our teachers choose to work here. We don't follow the district scope and sequence or pacing guide. We don't do their every 2-week benchmark testing. We are held to the state standardized testing, so we do have to do that. We do have to do we have to follow the district standards for what we teach, but we're allowed to do that in any way that we see fit. So we can use the curriculum that we want. We can teach our children at the level and pace that they need, that works for them. And all of that autonomy for us is in exchange for a higher level of accountability. And what that means is that charter schools can be shut down for academic or financial mismanagement. So, what did I mean when I said that we received public funding but not at the same rate as the district? So, federal government gives the states money for education. The states disperse that money to the districts, and then the districts disperse that to the schools. Now, before Florida charter schools receive their cut of that, the district takes 5% of that as an administrative fee. So they take 5%, and then we get what's left over. But what's left over is not the same as what the district schools get. We do have to make do with a lot of grants. We don't get the same amount of tax revenue that district schools get. And so the bottom line there is that we function at about 75 to 80% of what traditional public schools function at and are expected to do more with less. So now that you have a little bit of background on what charter schools are, let's talk about specifically Bethany's, Somerset Bethany Charter School. So our campus hours are 7:30 to 2:30. That is instructional hours. You can drop your students off as early as 7 a.m. Breakfast is served from 7 to 7:25. We stop serving breakfast at 7:25 to give the kids about 5 minutes to get into their classrooms, because class does start at 7:30, and after 7:30 they are tardy. If they are not in their classrooms in their seats, they are tardy. That means hanging out in their hallways, in the bathroom, in the parking lot. So if you are dropping off later than 7:25, we are going to ask that you come into the main office and sign your student in. The instructional school day does end at 2:30. We do offer aftercare from 2:30 to 6 o'clock. Early release days were 7:30 to 12:30. Our aftercare on early release days runs 12:30 to 6. And our registration form for aftercare is available on the website, and there should be one in your student information folder that you get during orientation. There is a school store on our website as well, and that's where you will pay your aftercare tuition. All right, to stay up to date with our communications from the school, your teachers will be providing their email addresses for you And each of your teachers will have a remind text blast that you can sign up for. But make sure that you are signed up. Make sure that you are signed up for the school's text blast. And you do that by texting at SOM Bethany, SOM Bethany, to 81010. Hit send. It's going to bounce back and ask if you're a student or a teacher or a parent, and ask for a name. And doing that, you will be signed up for our text blasts. And our text blasts give you, if a bus is running late, or if progress reports are coming out today, or if tomorrow's a dress down day, or whatever else may be going on in the school. So you definitely want to do that to be able to stay up to date with all of our communication. Somerset Academy Bethany also has a Facebook page, and that address is there on the screen. Our Facebook page is a public page, which means that you do not have to have a Facebook account to see our Facebook page. That information is as up to date as the text message blasts. We also have a website. We try really hard to keep that up to date. It is not quite as up to date as the text and the social media, simply because it's just a little bit harder to navigate. But we do have the website. There's a calendar on our website, and that calendar, if you have an iPhone, does sync with your phone so that you're always up to speed on what's going on at school. So again, our communication, my teachers do communicate through the message board on Skyward. They have to update their grade books on the 1st and 15th of the month. So when you are checking your students' grades and it looks like a grade hasn't been entered in a few days, it may not have been, but it will be on the 1st and 15th of the month. And then, of course, by email. Make sure that you do have, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Make sure that you do have your Skyward access. If you don't, when you go to the Skyward link on our webpage, there will be instructions on how to request your Skyward user information, and our data processor, Ms. Gunning, will get that for you. Again, the remind texts and emails, there's a little bit of all the information that you'll get there. We do send progress reports home every 2 weeks. We used to send them home paper in your student's bag, and then we started just posting them to Skyward. I'm not sure exactly what the plan is for this year, but either way, there will be messages that go out that tell you that progress reports are either coming home or being posted. Your students will have a take-home folder that your teachers will be giving them. Make sure that you are checking that daily. They will have agendas also. Make sure you're checking those daily. That is another way that the classroom teachers communicate with our parents. And on Fridays, we send home a school-wide newsletter. It kind of gives you the month at a glance, if you will. I already mentioned the Facebook page, the news and announcement section of the website, and PTCs. So PTCs are parent-teacher conferences. They are available at your request or your teacher's request. And what that is the opportunity for you to come in and meet with your teachers and your students' teachers, and get information, discuss concerns, just get a feel for how everything's going, and how you might support your student. Data chats happen quarterly. I believe they happen in October, January, March, and end of the year, I believe. And data chats are, there will be a blast that goes out with a Sign Up Genius where you'll be able to sign up for your time frame. It lasts it's 15 minutes. And it is just come in, sit down with your teacher. It is literally 15 minutes, easy and quick. It's after testing, and the teachers tell you, here's where your student is, here's where your student should be, here's how we're going to get them there, and here's what you can do at home to help support that. So it's literally a data chat. We're chatting with you to give you the data on your child, to let you know if your child is below, on, or above grade level, and what we're doing about that. Make sure that you sign up for those. We don't want our parents surprised at the end of the year if your student is recommended for retention, or if your student's struggling. We don't want you surprised, and these meetings are how we make sure that you stay informed, as well as Your teachers will be sending you, if your student falls below a C in your class, your teachers will also be sending you a deficiency report to your email account that's on file. So you do want to make sure that your email on file is accurate. Okay, in addition to all the great communication, we have transportation. This year, this year we will be running 4 buses. Last year we ran 2. So we'll be running 4 buses this year. The application for transportation is on the website if you've not already filled that out. Your transportation bus stop and location, or location and time assignment, should be in your folder that you're picking up at orientation. If not, we will have a transportation table where you will be able to find out what your student's bus assignment is. We expect that line to be kind of long, so please make sure you are checking your folder that you're given before you go get into that line. If you do have any questions about transportation, transportation@somersetcollegeprep.org is who you'll reach out to. Health information. So you all received either as part of your application package, or if you're a returning student, you received a notification to have a new pupil ID form filled out. That pupil ID form asks if your students have any health concerns. If your students have health concerns, please make sure that both your classroom teacher and the office is aware of that, so that we are able to best care for your child while they're with us. If your student takes medication at school, there are forms that do need to be filled out. They're available for download on our website: physician's authorization form, parent authorization form, and what have you. Please remember, kinder parents, kinder shot records are due before the first day of school. You may not drop your student off on day 1 if we do not have shot records on file. If you do drop your child off, you will receive a phone call to come pick your child up. It is Florida state law. We cannot have your student on this campus without a copy of updated shot records before the first day of school. All right, as a charter school, we do require our parents to participate in their students' education, and one of the ways that you can do that is through your 20 hours, 20 volunteer hours per year. If you have a second child or a third, it's only 15 per subsequent student. You can attend PTSO meetings. You can volunteer at our fall festival. You can volunteer at other school events like the dances, functions. You can do donations. Our teachers are always asking for donations. One of the things that you won't find here is that really long supply list. You won't find our supply list at Walmart. You won't find, when your teachers give it to you, it's not going to be 20 rolls of paper towels, 15 boxes of tissue, 32 containers of hand sanitizer, like you see at a lot of schools. It is minimal to what your student needs for their classes, but the teachers do have wish lists. So, and on the wish list are all those things that are normally on that required list from the traditional public schools, as well as some other things. They usually have an Amazon cart wish list. So, anything that you decide to do to help your teacher out, please make sure that you submit receipts with that, with those donations, because those do count towards your volunteer hours at a rate of $10 per hour. Dress code. So we have had pop-up uniform stores all summer. Ibely is the name of our uniform company now. We did switch a few years ago. Ibely will be on site tomorrow. They are also the uniform vendor for the Middle High campus. They will be on that campus Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week. And whenever they're on either campus, they always have uniforms for the other campus as well. You can also place your uniform orders online, and that is a link on our website as well. So please make sure that your student is in dress code. That is black or khaki, shorts, skirts, or capris. The shorts do need to be fingertip length or longer. They cannot have any rips, tears, frays, or print on them. We don't do sweatpants or leggings. If you're going to do leggings, it needs to be underneath shorts or a skirt. We are cracking down on dress code this year, so we do ask that your student is in dress code. If your student's not in dress code, your student will be sent up to the main office the first day. They will receive a uniform violation. It'll be a warning. You'll receive a phone call to remind you that they need to be in dress code. And after that, we will be calling you to come pick your student up if that continues. If you have purchased your uniforms and they've not come in yet, if you are just waiting on them, please provide a copy of your receipt from your purchase, and that will suffice until your uniforms are delivered. On Fridays, we have dress down day. On Fridays and early release days, we have dress down for $1, and those are fundraisers. Those dollars go back towards your students in their classrooms. Every grade level sponsors a different month for dress down, and those dollars go towards things in their classrooms and helping with field trips and things like that. Please remember that the shoes must be closed-toed. Sneakers are safest. Crocs are not permitted. We do have Friday shirts that you can purchase from Ivory, and we also have our custom ink design shirts as well. We had a contest last year and had a couple of shirts that we did fundraisers through the year that you could purchase those. We will be doing that again this year. Also, one of the things that we're going to do different with shirts this year, we are going to be opening up a school store on Custom Ink in, I believe, next week for you to purchase your field trip shirts. We do take lots and lots of field trips here, all grade levels, and we do need all your students to be in a grade level appropriate field trip shirt. So we do ask that you make that purchase when that store opens and those messages go out. So please watch for that. Okay, we are doing dismissal and drop off differently this year. If you were with us last year, this looks completely backwards to you. And that is because we have gone from 2 campuses, 300 students, to 1 campus and over 500 students. So we needed a longer queuing. I don't know if my mouse shows up on the screen or not, but if it does, instead of entering on Bethany and exiting on Utility like we did last year, we're going to enter on Utility and exit on Bethany. That gives us a longer queuing line in our parking lot because we can double stack all the way around there. So you will enter, and this is morning and afternoon, you will enter from Utility and you will come in a single. You'll notice there's just 1 lane right there. After you make that little turn, it will split up into 2 lanes. So you will stack in 2 lanes all the way around the parking lot, and we will line up there at Bethany, and we will unload your cars where it says lane 1 and lane 2 on the screen. We will unload and load right there from both buildings 1, 2, 3, and 5. If your student's teacher is Miss Bobo, Miss Lowe, Miss Xavier, or Miss Torres, please always take lane 1. Bobo, Lowe, Xavier, and Torres, those students are in buildings 1 and 2, and so we want to unload those students on the 1 and 2 side. That is the safe side for them. Remember that your students should always be on the safe side for unloading. So that's going to be whichever side the building is on. So if you're in lane 1, you want to make sure that your student is directly behind the driver. If you are in lane 2, your student's going to be in the passenger seat or directly behind the passenger. If you are in lane 2, then that is because your teacher is in building 5, and that's the side you're getting out on. So again, Bobo, Lowe, Xavier, Torres, you guys are going to be in lane 1, and all the other teachers from building 5, those students should be lining up in lane 2. So just please keep that in mind. That's what's going to be safest for our students. And then you guys will exit there on Bethany, turn left, and head right on back up to St. Lucie West. All right, we are getting close to the end here. Lightning bolt expectations. We ask that you familiarize yourself with the student handbook. It is posted on the website. You will be asked by your teachers if you have read and understand it. There is an agreement that you're going to sign off on. If you have, well, you've actually already signed off because part of your application process says that you read and understood and agree to abide by our handbook. So hopefully you did actually take a look at it before you signed that agreement. But it's pretty simple. We ask that our students show respect for themselves, their peers, and their teachers. We ask that the discipline policy and attendance policy and academic policy and dress code policies always be followed. If those things are done, if the students are doing their work on time, keeping the grades they should be, if they're prepared for class, asking for help when needed, then they are going to be good to go. We emphasize strongly integrity and honesty among everything, above everything. And that's something that we push across the board with all of our campuses, always doing what's right no matter the consequence and no matter what everyone else is doing. One of the other things that I do want to hit real quick, there's not a slide here for it, but I do want to talk about the fact that we are going to be running quite a bit of tutoring this year. We have restructured our the way that we're doing our classes. Your teachers, your students are going to be team taught this year, and what that means is you're going to teach your students from kinder all the way up are going to have a teacher who teaches them English language arts, reading, writing, and social science, and a different teacher who teaches them science, STEM, and math. They will have, all of them will have PE, and you will have either band or chorus as well. So some music classes built in there. Those classes are going to be more streamlined as far as ability grouping, and that's so that our teachers can focus more on the specific needs of the class. They will still be differentiating, but a little bit of a different kind of differentiation so that the students are getting more intense instruction in it with more depth as opposed to the breadth that they may have been receiving before. So we're going to start that this year, and we're going to start tutoring pretty much out of the gate. Your teachers will be reaching out to you, and the school will be sending out notices when that starts, but we will be tutoring for reading and writing, math, science, and STEM. So those will all be things that we tutor. We're going to make that available after school. And at some point a little bit later in the year, we will start running Saturday preps as well. So please make sure that you're watching for that. Okay, so this is the point where you ask questions. And since this is a pre-recorded video, you will post your questions here and we will get back to you as we can. Again, this is going out on our social media, our website. We will go ahead and get that blasted out as well as emailed, and the link to it emailed through Aries and through Skyward, and it will be on a loop in the multipurpose room when you guys come in for orientation. All right, you guys have a great evening. We are excited about this year, and we can't wait to see your students. Take care.